Weight of milk per gallon. A gallon of milk weighs 8.6 pounds. Weight of milk per gallon measurement is useful for determining how much milk will be needed for one particular application, such as making butter or cheese. What is milk? Milk is a food made from the mammary glands of female mammals. This includes cows, goats, sheep and other animals that have been domesticated for this purpose. The mammary glands produce milk by secreting milk into lactiferous ducts in the animal's body. Milk is normally collected and stored in the mammary glands until it is needed for feeding or to be used as a food product. Milk can also be extracted from the dried, crushed cells of certain mammals, such as humans, a form known as clotted milk, sheep, goat, camel and llama. Milk can also be extracted from the dried cells of certain non-mammals such as birds, fish and reptiles. This is known as skimmed milk or buttermilk. Milk is often classified by its fat content, which is measured in terms of fat content per volume. The fat content of milk is usually around 3 to 4% by weight, but this varies between species and even among individual animals. Fatty acids are also present in milk at a concentration of about 0.1%. The different types of milk that are used for different purposes are grouped together as follows. A third type of milk is known as cream or whole cream. This is the fat content that remains after removing most of the water from milk. Cream contains more than 3% fat by weight, and has a high butterfat content. The fat content of milk can be measured by either a density test or an enzymatic method. In the first case, the mass of each sample is weighed and then mixed with a specific amount of water. The mixture is heated to 60 degrees Celsius for 1 hour in order to allow the fat to melt, and the mixture is then allowed to cool. The mass of the water-free sample minus that of the melted sample is used as a measure for how much milk has been lost in this way. In the second case, milk is heated at 60 degrees Celsius for 1 hour and then cooled. The sample is then weighed and the fat content of the milk is calculated from this weight using a specific formula. Milk can be used as an animal feed for many species, such as cattle, sheep, goats and horses. It can also be used to make cheese, including kefir, cottage cheese and cream cheese, butter, ice cream, yogurt and other dairy products. Milk is also used as a natural preservative for many foods including breads, pastries and some vegetables. How to measure the weight of milk per gallon? If you want to measure the weight of milk per gallon, use a kitchen scale. To get the correct amount of milk for your needs, follow these steps. First, measure out 1 quart, about 0.95 US gallons, into a measuring cup or bowl. If you don't have a kitchen scale, you can use a household spoon to scoop the milk into your measuring cup. Next, pour 1 cup of water into a separate bowl or cup. Measure out 1 teaspoon of salt, about 2 grams, and add it to the water in the second bowl or cup. Stir the salt into the water until it dissolves. Pour the dissolved salt solution into your measuring cup or bowl of milk. Stir well to make sure that all of the salt has been mixed in with the milk. If you still have any undissolved salt, add more water and stir again. After you have added the salt solution, measure out the amount of milk that you want to use for your measurement. You can then pour this amount into a measuring cup or bowl and set it aside. For example, if you want to measure 1 quart, about 0.95 US gallons of milk, you will need to measure out 2.5 cups, about 1.2 US gallons. Which is heavier, a gallon of milk or water? A gallon of milk weighs about 8.6 pounds, 3.85 kilograms, while a gallon of water weighs about 8.00 pounds, 3 kilograms. That's why the milk weight per gallon is heavier than water. The reason that milk weighs more than water has to do with the density of matter. Water molecules are less dense, So they float on top of each other in a liquid state while milk molecules are denser and form an emulsion with each other. This means that the water molecules are more spread out and don't exert as much pressure on each other, which is why it weighs less than milk. In a liquid state, you can add more milk to make up for its lower density compared to water by adding enough water to the milk. Conclusion? The weight of milk per gallon is a measurement that varies with factors such as the amount of milk that is being measured, the number of pounds that are being measured, and the amount of water that is being used to measure the milk. The weight of milk per gallon is the most common way to measure how much milk is being produced. The number of pounds in a gallon will always be measured by using metric units, while the weight of the water will be measured in pounds and ounces.